Hello, hello, Mercury, summer 23, summer 2023. Okay, flub, okay. Summer 2023. Okay, how are you guys doing? It's fucking late as hell. This video, that is, like several weeks, like 3 weeks late, like a month late. Ugh. My goodness, a lot has happened. I am so sorry. Let's call this in. It's okay if you look stupid in front of someone you really care about. They understand. This could be something like funnily embarrassing. Like you fart in front of somebody. Like on the first date, you go somewhere and you eat like a food that makes you gassy, and you try to like push through. You try to push through, and you like, you just like, and a person may leave. That may be end of the date, but it could be like the vulnerability that you need, and it's being communicated back to you that this isn't the vulnerability that you need. So you have Angel, you have Wanderer. I have to see, kind of seeing myself, and then you have Intimate. Yeah, it seems like communication of your darker natures is totally acceptable. What isn't acceptable is allowing your subconscious lower natures to rule you and make decisions, particularly like saying and doing things that are within character, but within character of your lower nature. So it would come off to people like this isn't you, but it is you. It's just not the you that's for your highest good, if that makes sense. So understanding yourself and the 360 degree of your mind really helps. Someone really important to me said, figure out what people know about you that you don't know about yourself, and you'll have an easier time, basically. And that is true. There's certain things that you kind of start to discover about yourself that are like hidden things, but when they come up are very apparent to other people. Like, so an example would be like maybe like mental illness or something like that. Like you may be having an episode in which you feel like you're completely fine, but other people around you notice what is going on. They may not be saying anything, and this is another thing with this communication. They may not be seeing what they're picking up on you, right? They may not be doing like intervention style, like we noticed this about you and blah blah blah, but it's being recorded in their minds, and it's prompting them to act in a certain way accordingly. If you are wanting something, how far away from yourself are you willing to go to get it? And that could be in a positive or a negative direction. How far away from the old you, the underdeveloped you, are you willing to go to get it? How far on the negative end, from your morals, your morality, your values, your ethics, are you willing to go to get it? You have to like answer these questions for yourself. What does it mean to do this? What does it mean to travel away from oneself? Right? Travel away from one's mind, mental state, mental parameters. So there's a lot of beating around the bush. There's a mental construct that is your mind that you're trying to break free of. There's a lot of restrictions, impositions. There's a lot of things like that. But these are, and you have to figure this out if they're perceived, as in they're not real, or are they a reality, as in they are made manifest in your world. Like you can see the everyday limitations of what you're thinking, right? Because some people, their lives it's horrible, but they, they're driving a brand new car, they're doing X, Y, and Z, they're making, they're doing the things that they want to do, but they're still feeling like this mental restriction, and that may be a miscommunication with self, right? But sometimes our perception is way off about what's going on for either direction, on either end of the spectrum. For the positive, you're seeing all negative. For the negative, you're seeing all positive. There's a lot of, I guess, figuring out yourself that you have to do this month, and a lot of it's on the mental level. It's not really, yeah, it could have implications for like relationships with other people, but it just seems like the relationship you have with yourself, there's nothing really outside of you that's going on that would be such like, it's not imposing, and the external is not pressing on you to have like some sort of discussion with it. And so this leads me to believe that a lot of this, in keeping with Mercury, is very much about the mind and the mental state that you exist in. It could be about the as above, so below, as within, so without, like your environment, how that, your physical environment, not your office, not the things that you are in geographically, your room, your house, your car, things that you would be prominently displayed in, where your energy would be the most imposing upon the environment. So I guess imposing is like a really big word. What is that looking like? And some of you will get caught up in decluttering a lot of things, but that's not going to deal with the issue at hand, right? Like you can get rid of like the physical resonance of your worries and stuff like that via objects. However, the worry is still there. And so it's going to show up in your actual decision making that impacts your life. It's not just the things that you buy, like impulse buying or impulse purchases of bags, or impulse purchases of food or makeup, or impulse purchases of like cars or whatever. It's your actual decision making that reconfigures your life. That's what's being affected. And you have to figure out what it is. It's almost like something is run amok in the background, and you have to figure out what it is. And it's not necessarily like, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. And it's something that is undiscovered, or maybe diagnosed, but undiscovered about oneself, unrevealed in some way, but undiscovered, as in you haven't actively tried to do this thing. You may want to watch Moon, because that may be very helpful to you. Okay, let's start reading. I want to see. Okay, let's start reading this. This is a very jumbled, I am so sorry, but very jumbled reading in comparison to Moon. I feel like Moon was very straightforward. So we have Angel. Okay, Angel. From the outset, the angel has been assigned to you. She keeps you from mishap and makes sure you give your best, but her protection is not guaranteed. Her assistance comes in direct proportion to your willingness to search for truth. As long as you continue your soul's quest, she will be there she will be with you. But if you become lazy and refuse to journey, she will evaporate like mist into the ether. Persona, when darkness falls across the landscape, the angel protects us from the emissaries of disillusion. She is an angel of mercy, bringing gentle solace that holds at bay the night's bitter incubus, reassuring us through the loneliness of self-doubt, guiding us towards our soul's intent. She keeps us from straying too far into melancholy. And if we become overwhelmed by the rigors of our daily grind, she will help nourish us, hovering in the gray between the tangible and the metaphysical, visible to no one but us. She speaks of truths that we are too frightened or tired to articulate. When she wraps us in her silvery wings, we feel her radiance coursing through our arteries, filling us with a poppy juice calm. She is a vigilant sentry and a luminous heart, exhorting us to be all that we can be, insisting we never settle for a tepid image of a lesser self. Let me see if you can see that. It's this page. And then that page. Wanderer. Looks like the last one is into that. Okay, Wanderer attribute. The Wanderer insists that you stop what you are doing, clear your head, breathe the cool air into your lungs, and feel the mossy rocks beneath your leather boots. Let him ferry you across the lake to a place without concrete, staleness, or boredom, where you can walk with the Romani on their ancient pathways. Persona. The wanderer has been traveling hill and dale all his life, and the roads holds no fears for him. He moves close to the land, adjusting and adapting to the changing environment and taking a course of least resistance, like a river reconstrained and free from inertia. This charismatic Tizaine, troubadour is hard to resist. With his fiddle and his campfire-charred voice, he's a danger to the daughters of those who cling too tightly to their possessions and treat their wives like chattel. The wanderer is quick-witted and has nothing to lose. To him, life is a thrill that must be tasted like honey. Travel with him, and he will rid you of any staleness and boredom that might threaten to make your life feel stagnant. Once he has accepted you, he will be your blood friend, but remember, he's not a person to be crossed or betrayed. Let go of your presumptions and see where the wind's brother will take you. Free your mind. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. Again, it's this page. And then this page. Lastly, intimate attribute. The intimate brings sweet sensuality and an intuitive understanding of all your emotional, physical needs, moods, and temperature changes. She has an infinite capacity for understanding your longings, whether it be sensual, erotic, or merely a need for a gentle comforting of your weary spirit. The intimate comes to you without artifice, and your night embrace is a sweet honeycomb tongue. Persona. Beyond the posturing, are we not still creatures of the sensual, longing for beauty and opulence, romantic orientalists, masked in our denim and synthetics, scampering from one multitask to the next? Are we not scared of the vacuum that waits to devour us? When the day is done and the lights turn out, and loneliness threatens to make ice cold your sheets, she enters, passing through the air's dark creases to slip beside you in your bed. Moving to the rhythm of your longing, she is your perfect lover, cocooning you in her gentle arms, absolving you from worldly sin, and keeping away the doubts that plague you. When you caress your intimate, her pleasure becomes your pleasure. The sounds of her stirring silence your studying mind, her passion dispelling your sense of isolation. Her smell is intoxicating, and her gentle touch leads you away from fear and anxiety towards stillness of righteous sleep. So I feel like it is like a necessary thing to figure out what it is that you want. It's something very hidden. It seems like quite hidden. It's perhaps not easily recognizable to you in your everyday environment. It's something foreign to you. Perhaps it's something that you like but never have tried. Never experienced, but it's desired. You can figure it out. Yeah. That's it, Mercury. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. I do think Moon would be very interesting for you to watch. I do think that. Because Mercury wasn't as clear as I thought it would be. Very much a riddle in many ways. To those who get it, Moon will be what you need to move forward. For those who don't, you might need to stay at this space a little bit longer. About 3 months. Yeah, about 3 months. So thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Toodles.